when is the left going to find its spine? Right, during the election, it was all Trump is Orange Hitler, Trump is going to be a dictator. So they said all of that, and then he won. They said, well, we got to have a peaceful transfer of power, which kind of indicates they didn't believe their own rhetoric. But many of them, the crazies especially, most certainly did. And the left has never, you think of the Spanish Civil War, you think of communism, they've never gone away easily. It's never been that the left has won an election and said, oh, what are we going to do? Democracy wanted to be this, that, or the other. The left has never gone away non-violently. At least it would seem until now. However, we're about 2 weeks into Trump's administration. They found their talking points. They found a little bit of their organization. And we're now getting to the point, I mean, this is literally today. There's protests at every state capitol. We have sitting U.S. senators calling for obstructing all of Trump's cabinet picks. Right. You have, I'm going to show the clip here in a minute, a U.S. congresswoman, which in and of itself, that's a problem, but calling to shut down Washington, D.C. And so the left has finally found its footing.
She's on Trump's team.
Yeah. Wait, shut down the city? DC? I'm for it. So we're going to play these clips and we're going to talk about, is the left going to go away silently, or are we looking at more unrest here in the future?
Republicans, that we will not take this. We will fight back. Fight back. Fight back. And as I close out, because I know we've been out here for a long time, and shut down the Senate. We Anytime a person can pay $250 million into a campaign and they be given full access to the Department of Treasury of the United States of America, we are at war. Thank you.
And then we have one more from Senator Cory Booker, if you have that.
That we will cooperate with no appointments when it comes to the State Department. No appointments when it comes to foreign policy. The first thing we're going to do in the Senate is not cooperate with the illegal and unconstitutional acts that they are trying to do. The second thing we are going to do, and we met this morning, it is in the legal perspective. The second thing we are going to do is we are going to fight this legally in every way we can. We will fight their violation of civil service laws. We will fight their violation of civil rights laws. We will fight their violations of separation of powers. We will fight their violations of our Constitution of the United States of America. We will not shut up. We will stand up. We will speak up. We will rise up. It is time, as the African spiritual says, for us to lift every voice in condemnation of what's going on.
I just got to say real quick, in the background, the crowd, 90% chicks.
Yeah, well, 100% women, 90% chicks.
Right, yeah. No, it was, yeah.
Did you see the USAID
Repeal
poster in the
19th
background?
Amendment.
If you were just listening, but they're protesting the shutdown of USAID. Like, that specifically has been the straw. It's like, what's going to get us out in the streets? What's going to get us protesting, yelling? And it was the shutdown of the big gay conglomerate.
That's a great point, Wes. So you're saying that, like, Charles Haywood and other guys, you know, have been surprised, and you know that, like, Trump's elected, he's installed January 20th, and it's like, why? Like, how come half the country's not burning down? Because that's typically what the left does. Is they, you know, if they don't get their way, they literally set fire to cities. That's the left. They kill people. I mean, the group that kills babies also burns down cities. You know, they're like, big shocker there. So why are they just seemingly taking it on the chin and losing with grace and dignity? Like, that doesn't seem to be their MO. And it's like, well, in part, like the left, I mean, they didn't stand a chance. They literally had a geriatric, you know, dude with Alzheimer's, dementia in office, and then a cackling hyena. Like the left lost the 2024 election all the way back, you know, in 2023 and 2024 when they made the choice that they did. And so that's kind of like, you can't really do anything about that. But in a sense, as much as they hate Trump, That's not the biggest threat. The biggest threat is taking away their free cash to support making everything gay.
And definitely Department of Education too. It's all wrapped up in the government is losing power. It's not able to fund these programs, fund these initiatives, export democracy. Michael, you had thoughts?
Did you see, Wes, this subreddit that was shut down by Reddit?
I was about to mention it. Go ahead.
So, Wes, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a subreddit that, and Reddit's a pretty loosey-goosey, freewheeling, like, you can say basically whatever you want.
You can put the nastiest things on Reddit.
Yes. Yep.
You can't be a Trump supporter. But like they literally like banned like any semi right wing communities. But go ahead.
I just, and it's to your point. It's the larger point that you're making, Wes, that none of us had ever heard of USAID before, right? Like not really. Like I maybe had seen it in some, news story or something. Nobody really knows what USAID was. No one did until Elon Musk started shining the flashlight around in the dark. And all of a sudden, from the time when Elon Musk and Doge starts suspending and shutting down aspects of USAID, this huge, I'm saying there's 1 million members of this subreddit, this huge Reddit subreddit community starts violently calling for the actual death of Musk and the members of Doge who are investigating USAID. It got so bad that Reddit suspended the whole thing. And they said it is going to come back online, but Reddit itself is going to have moderators in there making sure that it doesn't get out of hand. Now, how does a government agency that most people have never heard of end up sparking such calls to violence on this Reddit community that Reddit itself has to take it down? Like, this is the pressure point that's being poked. Mm-hmm. And when you push the pressure point, when you hit the part that hurts, when the doctor pushes on the part of the leg that does hurt, you yell. And apparently this is, to Charles Haywood's point, this is actually the true pressure point. And as soon as Trump and Doge poked it, there has been immediate and vitriolic reaction to it, which to me just says we're over the target. When you throw the dog, it's the bar. It's when you throw the brick, it's the dog that yelps that got hit. This is apparently the zone that really is kind of the locus of the deep state, I would say.
Right, and it goes to show, we're not total Trump sycophants. There's like 2% of us at least that's somewhat reserved, but it means Trump means business. Yeah. He didn't campaign his whole thing on, guys, when I get in office, I promise you, I'm going to take down USAID.
Right.
This wasn't even on anyone's radar. He could have left it be. Yep. But through Elon Musk and Trump going for it, the heart of the deep state, early on too. So it's not like we went 2 years and guys, we finally got to tackle the big one, the elephant in the room. 2 weeks in, cut to the heart, fire every employee, cancel the contracts. It shows they mean business, and whatever they're projecting publicly, whatever's being tweeted or said or spoken of publicly, you have to remember behind the scenes is probably 50% greater. The rhetoric, the initiative, the desire to take it down. And so I view this as very encouraging that it is not Trump 1.0. We remember 2016 to 2020, he was defensive. He didn't have many allies. This is different. And the damage that's being done for the left to recover from is not going to be in 2 years they get the apparatus all assembled again. It's going to take decades. The left would have to win for decades to even begin to claw back the institutional, the money, the leverage that they're losing daily today.
All right, the clock is running out. You need to go and register now for our Christ is King, How to Defeat Trash World Conference. It's happening the year of our Lord 2025, April 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And by God's grace, we're able to provide for you an all-star lineup. We've got Steve Dace, Calvin Robinson, Orrin McIntyre, Dr. Stephen Wolfe, Eric Kahn, David Reese, Andrew Isker, John Harris, A.D. Robles, Dan Burkholder, Dusty Devers, Ben Garrett, CJ Engel, and yours truly, Pastor Joel Webben. Come on out, join us April 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 2025, Thursday through a Saturday. Go to rightresponseconference.com to register today. Again, that's rightresponseconference.com.